Hello and welcome to episode 3. I'm still working on that song. I'm just figuring out, I finished figuring out the drums now. So last time I was just about to start doing the drums and figuring out roughly how I want them to go. And I've now done that. I've also re-recorded it a couple of times because there were sections in it that I wasn't that happy with. It just sounded a bit too long. It sounds like sometimes you record a song and you want it longer. Sometimes you record a song and you think it doesn't need all that. It just needs to be a bit shorter. Like Matthew Smith is short. Oh, where is Matthew Smith? Other songs like, I'm trying to think of a long song now. The British IBM's longer. It's got 3 verses. This one has got 2 verses and a middle. It's a short song. It's now coming in at around just over 2 minutes. Most early Beatles songs are around that length, so I'm happy with that. Anyway, so what have I done? So I've chopped it around a little bit. I've then gone and finished doing the drums. Let me just play the drums now that I've come up with. Again, this is all very basic. I'm hoping Scott will come up with something better, but I've come up with where the kick and the snare sit, where there might be some fills. So the verse now sounds like this. You got your intro. At the moment, the drums kick in after the intro, which is just a D chord. So it sounds like that's the actual Cubase click track. If I turn that off, then the drums come in here. And then you've got a little fill here. And then we're going into the chorus. So essentially what we've got going on here is basically we've got some verse drums and some chorus drums, a couple of little fills in here. It makes it a lot easier. Once you start doing this, it gets a lot easier to understand the song in your head, or it does for me anyway. So because of all the restructuring and then putting the drums, I then deleted, once I'd got this structured, I kind of deleted the old me playing to the click track, and then I just played this again, just the acoustic guitar and did the vocals again to the new drum track, so that it's kind of the strumming and the vocals have kind of got a feel that goes with what's going on. Programmed some middle drums. Let's go in. It's got a little fill that comes in. There's a bit more of I've got like a, what do you call it, ride on the chorus. That's how you know the chorus is the chorus, because it's got a ride. Closed hi-hat on the verse. Middle drums slightly different to the verse drums. It's just got an extra kick in there. For kick drum aficionados that might be watching this and interested in where the kick sits. And then the final chorus, which is now, it's not an outro, I have called it final chorus, because all it's really doing now on the last chorus is, I was doing an instrumental, then doing a final chorus, whereas now it goes straight to the final chorus. Don't bore us, get to the chorus. And all it is it plays the only difference with the last round of drums is I have, the last thing that happens is the outro is just, it ends on a D chord, it just smacks the ride at the moment, and then just lets that last chord fade out. So there we go. We have a song. I don't have lyrics. I haven't completed the lyrics for verse 2, but I don't need to waste time doing that. I can do that at any point at this stage. I can write that second verse. I'm still repeating the same verse twice. But the next thing I need to do is just come up with some ideas for bass. The eagle-eyed among you might have already noticed that I've got a bass track here that I created, because I know I'm going to want some bass at some point. I'm just DIing at the moment. This is a Tanglewood Rebel 4K. It's not a bass guitar that I'm particularly attached to, but I've had it for a long, long time, and still to this day I still contemplate getting something slightly better. The only reason I don't is because I never play it live. It never gets used in the studio. All it ever gets used for is demoing. But I sometimes think it'd be quite nice to maybe get something like a P bass or something, a very cheap P bass or something that might make things a little bit easier for me, because obviously bass isn't my first instrument. It'd be nice to have something that's a bit... I heard the jazz bass has got like a more guitarist friendly neck. Anyway, all I'm doing now is just playing along with this with the bass guitar until something clicks or I can come up with something. Just a quick side note, if you're wondering why the audio's changed all of a sudden, it's because I bought a microphone to try and make it easier. I thought this might pick up more noise so I can get a bit of everything in it rather than just my lapel and what comes out of here secondhand, so we'll see. But anyway, I've spent a lot of time trying to come up with some bass parts. I've come up with a bass part, got that far, and then I've played it a bunch of times over the whole thing. And then what I'm doing now, I learnt this from watching Owen at Sick Room. I noticed him doing it with Cubase, so I thought, oh, look at that. That makes things easier. Essentially, you record it yourself over and over again, and then I've chopped up all the bass segments into verse 1, chorus, and all that stuff. And then you've got this little arrow here, and if you look at that, for each section, you can see your history of all the bass parts that I've played there. So now what I can do is I can edit myself. I don't need to be this anal because it's obviously going to be recorded properly in the studio at some point. But it's just I just kind of want the demo to sound as good as I can get it, so I get an idea as to whether or not it's any good. Is it going to make the cut? So we listen back to a bit. Off. I've got the guitar turned right down at the moment just so I can just concentrate on the bass and whether or not it's in time with the drums. Sounds alright, isn't it? But if I wanted to go to a previous take, like one where I probably made mistakes, like an early one, I could do that, and then that's another take. There's lots of mistakes in here somewhere, buried in these takes. So I'm going to go through all of this and find the best takes, and then I will have drums and bass, and then I will probably re-record the guitar at that point. So obviously, like I said before, when you redo your foundations, it's kind of like I kind of redo the bits on top of those, because when I'm playing guitar to a click track and it's just me and that's it, and then you think, oh, the drums would sound good like this, you then obviously re-record the guitar bit because you kind of play to the new drums, you might play slightly differently, and then now the bass is on there as well, I'll probably play the guitar once more. Well, I'll play it properly anyway just because it sounds nicer, so I'll probably mic it up properly this time, maybe play an electric rhythm on there as well, play a few different things, see what's what. But for the time being, I am going to edit a bass part. Bass is now done. I'm now going to play acoustic guitar. I've got a DI going into this audio interface, and I've also got a microphone here as well, so I'm going to record the guitar through both of those, and I'll pan a little bit to the left and the right. false starts, but overall, pretty happy with that take, so I don't feel the need to do another one. Slightly better at rhythm guitar than I am bass guitar.